Local. It's the B Plus Wrestling Podcast.
The move.
Might not be an A, but you are a B plus.
Check it out! Here we go! You wanna mess with us? Cause we're steady on the ground, steady on the ground. You wanna mess with us?
All right, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Man, it's been a long time since I said that. Wow. Happy New Year, 2020. We're going to talk some wrestling today. Joining me, of course, as always, from all the way over in Western Australia, Mr. Mysterious. How are you, man?
I'm doing fantastic. It's good to hear you say that as well. It's good to hear just the slogan. It feels weird that we're back and just ready to talk wrestling again.
Is this the first time we've talked in 2020?
Does messaging count or just...
Messaging doesn't count. Voice to voice. This is the first time we've talked.
Voice to voice, no.
I haven't heard your voice since last decade.
My God, those
Not just
dulcet
last
tones.
year.
Last
just-
decade.
Last decade, yeah. And, of course, from across the pond.
The pond?
Not that pond. Well, it's a little pond,
the strait,
right?
Across the strait. Across the
Across
river.
the strait, down there in Tasmania. The future TCW champion.
No, you can't say that. No, that's just...
Can't say that?
No,
Ben
let me
Tokyo,
just...
how you doing, man?
No, Ben Tokyo, no, it's Ben TCW now, I think. Let me just say, February 22nd at the Elfland Sports Centre, come see Annihilation 7, Tasmanian Championship Wrestling. Okay, I'll try to plug that a few more times. Yes, I'm here.
We have to get into this because you were the I go to TCW shows, but I don't know if I really enjoy it. You were that guy, and now you're like, come to TCW Annihilation. So let's get into it. What's the go? What's happened?
Oh, towards the end of November, I joined up as a student to learn to wrestle at TCW, and it's going all right. I think. Very careful if anybody's actually listening, saying he's not going all right, but I'm enjoying it. Like I'm going like it's.
I imagine the fitness side you have pretty well covered, right? Because you were doing like Tough Mudders and all that sort of shit. So so the fitness side you got covered. It's just like the actual learning.
The stuff that you don't
between
think
the
about.
ropes.
You're like for one example is like if you're doing it, you're given a headlock, like keep your sort of your chin up, like look out, and you're not like hunched over doing shit. You don't want to be hiding from the audience. So
hey, don't expose the business, kid. You're exposing the business. What are you doing?
So it's just like one of the many things that never even consider as an audience member.
Yeah. Well, so now that's why I like the fact that I have done wrestling training, because it does give you a new appreciation, especially of like the footwork. That's
Absolutely.
Just watching wrestlers. That's why I became such a fan of William Regal. And a lot of people will be like, William Regal's boring, man. And I'm like, no, that dude is fucking mint. Like, but anyway, now I'm officially the only guy on the team who's not in because our team has reduced a lot. I'm the only guy on the team who's not in the business.
Not affiliated with someone.
Yeah. I'm a free agent, bitches. Wild card. Woo!
Well, you were working on the door for that other thing for a while ago.
Iron Fist.
Yeah.
All right, mate. No, and like I've done some stuff. I've done some stuff with ACW. Like I do social media and stuff for ACW or whatnot. But I go to all the shows down here. Well, when I can. Like obviously, life happens. But no, but I've never wanted to be completely affiliated. But I did train for a bit with ACW before I got the hernia, and the doctors were like, "You can't lift anything over 10 kilos." And I'm like, "Well, lifting people above my head and throwing them on the ground is out." So all that sort of stuff. Like I have been with ACW, and I'm most closely aligned with ACW, but I'm not in the business. I'm kind of on the fringes.
Oh, well, my biggest move so far is doing a scoop slam. That's the latest thing I learnt. We've got like headlock takeovers and head drags.
If the prefects have the schoolboy, then you can have that, man.
What's that, sorry?
If the prefects have the schoolboy, then you make that your own, man. Just make it the best
scoop
thing
slam
ever.
finishing move.
No, see, I'm a huge fan of the headlock takedown. It's a fun as hell move to do.
Yeah, the way I was doing it badly. I was doing it more like a judo thing, where like sort of slow motion, like a big up and over type of thing, rather than just drop and just pull them over right away. So
right,
but learning some long sequences.
Yeah, once upon a time that was a finisher. Just saying, once upon a time a scoop slam was a finisher.
Yeah.
So,
what, back in the 30s or something?
yeah. So you
Yeah.
at this point, at the point you're at now, you could be a pro wrestler in the 1930s.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And I mean, look, we're almost at a new 30s. We're in the 20s now.
Yes, I was just thinking.
So, yeah, we
Yeah.
all got to start wearing old timey suits. And ladies, you need to
Moustaches,
get your flapper dresses out, and we're bringing back jazz dancing.
So in a
That's-
couple of weeks, I'll be refereeing because I'm nowhere near ready to have a match. I had a meeting, like everyone's having matches at this Chili Skyfire. So it's like the Australia Day thing that they have here in Launceston with fireworks, which is probably not a great idea this time of year.
No,
with all the fires going on, obviously. And TCW always have a thing on there for like since they've been around, just like free like wrestling shows on throughout the day, and people can just come up and watch and whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'll be getting some experience in front of an audience, but just as a referee. So looking forward to that.
Let's talk about that, because I have gotten some messages from people overseas asking, if I'm okay, if everyone who does the show is okay with the because obviously when you see stuff on American news or English news and that sort of thing, Australia's on fire. Like the entire country is on fire, which it's not a completely wrong characterization. I think the entire country is covered in smoke at this point, at least.
Yeah,
we definitely say that.
But is everyone safe? Is everyone okay? Has anyone been affected by the tragedies?
No, I'm not affected. I didn't even realize how bad it was. Probably until a week in already. I was like, I don't have the TV connected to an antenna or anything, so I'm not watching the news. And then when I saw it at work, it's like, holy fuck, this is actually really bad. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's one of the worst fire seasons we've ever had. I was in a danger zone for a while. Like, we were on Watch and Act. We were told to, it was too late to get out of the area. Just stay in your home and hope for the best, and we'll come for you if we need to, kind of thing. And fill the sinks with water, all that sort of stuff. Do all the bushfire plan, and it was just me at home with the kids and no car. And I was a bit freaked out that day. It was a 50-degree day. What's that in Fahrenheit? Just for people who
I don't know. You got a computer
playing overseas. Yeah. I have no idea what Fahrenheit is. Use Celsius, motherfuckers. Everyone else does it. It's only America, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about
They're
England.
the only fucking ones.
England, they pick and choose if they want pounds or kilometers and miles. They take a bit of everything. Are there any trees over in where you are, Mysterious? I just imagine it's all sand and then buildings. I honestly don't even know what it's like.
You're thinking of up in the Kimberleys, up in the north bit. It's all the sand. It's all kind of like Darwin there. But no, I'm in the city. Fortunately, I haven't been affected by the fires. I have had a few friends who are in the Wait and Act kind of areas. We're in a bit of a little spot where they close the Nullaboars to try and focus more attention over east, and which is try and hope for the best that nothing happens around here. But no, thankfully I'm going okay, and just trying to raise more awareness of just everything, I suppose.
Yeah, well, the government's not going to do it. This is why I'm an anarchist, people. If there's ever been a case for anarchy, have a look at what's happening in Australia right now. The government have failed, as they always do. Governments fail. That's what they do. They're not good at anything. It's bureaucracy, red tape. It's bullshit, all of it. And what have the people done? The people have all banded together. There's that comedian that did the fundraiser. It's like $47 million.
Is that her name?
Never heard of her.
No, not right.
No, we're actually
never heard of her before this.
Actually donating to her charity at our next show in NH. That's where all the funds are going to go for that one. So
yeah, and that's something I wanted to segue to is this weekend is a good weekend to get out and watch wrestling. The next few weekends, basically anyone who's running wrestling shows over the next few weeks, I've seen a lot of local wrestling companies here in Australia that, the profits from the show or all profits from the merch table or what have you. I think PWA at their sword fight, which we'll talk about soon, their sword fight show, it's they're doing a raffle with Matty Wahlberg. He's returning to the beer pong table, which, we've heard him talk about how he's past that now because he's a star. So he's returning to the beer pong table to face off against the raffle winner. So that money's all going to help the bushfire appeals and all that sort of stuff. So it's a good time to get out and support local businesses in general, because a lot of people are giving to, I get emails from Booktopia. They're like, every book you buy today, all the profits are going to to the bushfire efforts and stuff. So, get out and support the local graps. What we're all about here at the B+. Man, it feels good to say these like catchphrases that I haven't said in like 3 months. Get out and support the local graps, because a lot of the local graps are supporting, these big issues as they should, as we should band together as a people and fix the problems.
I like that you mentioned Maddie just then with the beer pong, because I did actually message him just saying there was all these prizes for the winner who gets to face off against him, and I said, well, what happens if anyone beats him? And he actually messaged back just saying, like, let's not get silly now. Like he's in the competitive zone.
Yeah. That's Matty, right? That's Matty Wahlberg. He wins, and he did win the sword, and now he's going to have a sword fight against Mick Moretti, who won the sword previously. Which I'm so fucking hyped for that match, man. That's this weekend. That's Saturday, January 11th. So as people are listening to this episode's going to come out tomorrow morning. So as people are listening to this, it's tonight. Sword fight. Get on OVO Play, and you can watch that live with the rest of the country. I'm going to be, doing the naughty thing and watching it in the passenger seat while I'm Uber Eats driving, because
so I'm kind of
still paying for Christmas.
Is that just a gimmick name, or is it what?
That's the name of the show.
Yes, yeah.
Sword fight. Okay, so they're not fighting with the swords. It's just a singles match.
I don't think they're actually going to fight with the swords. I think it's just a wrestling match.
Okay.
But it's
I've
the
never watched
holder of
PWA,
the...
so I'm not sure what's going on over there.
It's the holder of the sword from the first Coliseum tournament and the holder of the sword from the second Coliseum tournament. So it's a sword fight.
Okay.
Because it's a tag match, are the swords actually on the line, or because it was originally a singles match?
I don't think the swords can be defended. It was originally going to be a singles match, but it became the Babes versus the Nations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just the way to prolong the story, I guess, because we're going to get that one-on-one sword fight. You would think they would do the one-on-one sword fight at the show called Sword Fight.
Yeah.
But they've obviously decided to prolong the story. I think we're going to get Carter Deems turning on Matty Wahlberg here.
We've been saying it for a while.
It's got to happen.
Yeah. The story.
It's got to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Because you want to give Matty something to overcome before he goes to Wahlberg Ugg again. Or do we have him challenge? Do we just tease the turn here and have him challenge Ugg again? So then you got Wahlberg Ugg 2, and then Carter turns, costs him the title. I think that's what I fantasy booked on my my guest spot when I did the show with no name. I think I fantasy booked it that way. So let's say that's what I think is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I'm on top of this.
Well, Carter is in a good spot at the moment. Nui Pro champion. He's pretty much at the height of his career at this point. Just it'll be that extra little push in the right direction, but I don't know.
Definitely. Did I miss something? I'm seeing here Black Shirt Cool Group versus Gavin McGavin and Edith Knight, right? Which is awesome, having Gavin McGavin come over here. When did Shazza McKenzie join the Black Shirt Cool Group?
It must have been at the last show, because it was Coliseum, it was the Liger show. It must have been at that.
Yeah, see, I watched the 18th birthday party in full.
Mm-hmm.
The Liger show I was working during the actual show, and I've gotten back and watched bits of it. I've watched the Liger match, but I haven't watched the whole show.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Going from 2019 to 2020 is my situation has changed, and so I'm not able to dedicate as much time to wrestling. Last year, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm at home with the kids. I'm going to do full on, just treat this podcast like a job, right? I just do full-time hours with it. And went a bit crazy. We put out, at one point, I think we put out 40 shows in one 30-day period.
Oof.
More than a show a day. It was absolutely insane. And our listenership has grown, and our the amount of people which is fantastic. But I can't keep that up this year because with the kid going to school, I got to go back to uni, I have to work more, all the usual stuff that happens as kids grow up and go to school, and you don't get to spend as much time at home hanging out playing games with them anymore. And so I can't just watch wrestling all day like I was. So I have way less time to watch wrestling. The last couple of weeks, even though I'm only in preparation mode sort of for things at the moment, I've only really watched AEW and Wrestle Kingdom over the last couple of weeks. A bit of NWA here and there.
Yeah, NWA is just an easy watch for everybody. It's
Yeah.
like it's in the time that we've kind of had a bit of a sabbatical. NWA Power has just gotten to that point where it's just a great thing just to put on and just relax for 40, 50 minutes and just, they're bringing back the TV title. Like that happened. Just trying to think of all this crazy stuff. Punk came
Okay,
back.
NWA have too many titles, dude.
NWA had too many titles. I don't think it's right.
They have too many titles
They
at
have
this
too many
point.
titles.
What
Yeah.
do you have that many titles for a 1 hour show a week? They have almost the same amount of titles as WWE. It's ridiculous.
And like we kind of said on our last show how like we might come back if something big happens, like Punk return, which that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, my bad. But we said we might.
Everybody's
we
forgot
did say,
about that already, I think.
We did say we might. Well, it was such a nothing burger. I mean, he might show up at the Rumble though, right?
I don't think so. I think we're all just
He might show up at the Rumble. But this is what we're saying, guys, is basically the B Plus podcast is going to become a lot more casual throughout 2020. We're going to get together once a week. We're going to, we may do it more than once a week if opportunities arise and we have special things to talk about. But generally speaking, we're going to get together once a week and just talk about the world of wrestling like we're starting to do right here, right now.
Mhm.
We're just going to talk about everything. And I do believe there are shows that do it better. Like I'm a big fan of On the Turnbuckle and the way they talk about a little bit of everything and then throw in an interview. And we're going to try to sort of go a similar route now since we have less time to dedicate to the show and stuff. But that's sort of the route we're going in 2020. And if you guys want to see us get back to where we were, there is always the Patreon.
Mhm.
And it's sort of on a there's not really rewards anymore. I'm going to change the tiers and it's more of a just support us if you love what we do to help us pay the bills around here, because hosting and all that, it's still expensive even though I'm doing less. So it is what it is. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about 2020. We didn't do year-end awards because I always feel weird doing awards before Wrestle Kingdom.
Mhm.
Am I the only one that feels that way?
I'm not including this year's Wrestle Kingdoms in my awards because that's for
Really?
no.
That was the whole point.
No, I'm going to talk about these matches at the end of into next year.
But-
don't you know how a calendar works?
Well, I feel like Wrestle Kingdom is the end of the wrestling calendar.
No, it's the start.
As far as I'm concerned.
it's the
It's
start.
the start. It's,
So what?
why
Last
would you-
year's
why
Wrestle
would you have
Kingdom
that
doesn't
be the
matter.
start? It's
Wrestle
the
Kingdom
culmination.
doesn't matter.
But it's the culmination of, I mean, in this case, a multi-year story.
You've also got recency bias. You're going to forget about. It's just like there's 3 matches on this that you could easily say are like the best of the year.
I don't
or
have
whatever.
I don't have any of this year's Wrestle Kingdom matches showing up in my awards, but I
Really?
did factor them in.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's insanity in itself.
Do you need to? That's insanity. Here we go, Mr. Tokyo. All right. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that a little bit later. We've talked a bit about PWA. Has anyone else been following PWA, looking at the cards? What are you excited for this weekend?
I am excited for the Edith Knight, Gavin McGavin versus Black Shirt Cool Group. I reckon that one will be a really great one. I'm looking forward to Kingsley's match.
Bit of local bias there.
No local bias. No, never.
Kingsley. Okay, let's talk about Kingsley real quick. Most entertaining woman in Australian wrestling. Yes or no?
Excellent promo videos.
Yes, absolutely.
I've only seen her wrestle maybe 3 or 4 times at the most.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say best wrestler. I said most entertaining.
Oh, okay. Well, entertaining. Yes, I was off the top of my head. I'm going to say yes.
Well, we're going to have
She's
to factor
gonna be,
in the body swap since we've been here last, which definitely that was one of the most entertaining things. Yeah.
Yes. Maddie Wahlberg body swaps in Wrestling Go have now become a tradition, and I'm fucking here for it, man. So here for it.
Love it. Like
Just Jude London just tweeting pictures of Maddie Wahlberg, just like, what's what am I supposed to do, you guys?
Kingsley might have the best Instagram of an Australian wrestler as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way
Big
that she
fans of
handles
Kingsley.
that
Absolutely.
thing.
Big fans of Kingsley here at the B Plus podcast. So yeah, Kingsley versus Belle Pierce will be good. Obviously, the PWWA championship is on the line as well. Jessica Troy and Steph DeLander. I think the tag titles are on the line as well, right? Kai Drake and Spencer
versus Velocities.
are
Yeah.
challenging the Velocities for the tag titles. I mean, you got to think Velocities keep those titles unless they're heading overseas again or something like that. But I don't even. Did Kai Drake and Michael Spencer have a name? I think we called them Royal Dragons or something last time because he's the prince.
They do have a name, but I don't know if it's just like a amalgamation kind of thing. But yeah, just for life of me, it's not a it's not a recognizable thing.
Yeah, because I remember Rose on commentary once just being like, "What do we call these guys?" and people just tweeting suggestions, which is one of the things I love about PWA. MCW is happening this weekend as well. Now, Ben, you're our MCW guy. What's happening at MCW this weekend?
We've got Will Ospreay taking on Dowie James. I don't know.
Right.
I've got to assume that'll be the main event. There's no Slex. Like, what's Slex doing? He's not
Slex signed to Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah, but they record all their show. They do like 2 months of shows in 2 days, don't they?
I don't know, but he signed to Ring of Honor.
He went over and then
talk about that.
He went over, and then 3 days later, his Instagram story was like back in the gym with the Philippe brothers in Melbourne. It's like, so you can just go over and record the show.
Job done. Go
yeah.
record the tapings. Yeah. Well, Brooksy's the champ now.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even on the show.
He's not on the show either?
No. So we've got Dowie versus Will Ospreay. There's Royce Chambers.
That's a hell of a main event, though. Like Dowie versus Will Ospreay. Dowie's one of the best, consistently underrated in Australia, in my opinion.
I don't think he's underrated. Within MCWs, he certainly wouldn't be underrated.
No, but like wider across Australia. Like you don't see him showing up in PWA. You don't see him showing up in EPW. Like he really only.
You will see him show up in NHPW next week. Thank you for the segue there, Greg.
Oh, we will. Is he heading over to Perth?
He's heading over to face off against Aaron O'Malley. It's our main event there. So interstate warfare.
That's a good get. That's a good match for Aaron O'Malley. I will watch that match if it is made available somewhere. Mm-hmm. Shots fired.
And I've just found out.
Get your shit together.
Found out the name for Spencer and Kai. MK Plus Ultra.
MK Plus Ultra. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
TM61 Plus from that.
Is it a Dragon Ball Z reference? I know he's a Dragon Ball Z fan, is Spencer, but I know MK Ultra is like the fucking the government. No, MK Ultra is like a government program of mind control using psychedelics.
I think
yes, it is. Where have I heard about that recently? Yeah,
there was like a Netflix.
Yeah.
Mind Hunters? Is that the Netflix show?
Yeah, Mind Hunters.
Mind Hunters? I think that's what it's called. And it's MK Ultra. And then you got Plus Ultra in
My Hero Academia.
In My Hero Academia. So I'm guessing it's like a play on that. But MK Ultra, that's
my tag team name.
Are they conspiracy? Are these more conspiracy theorists? Is that what this is? Because wrestling attracts conspiracy theorists. This is a conspiracy theory that I have. Is that
no? It's just you, Greg.
No, it's because wrestling fans have an appreciation of the fact that everything's a fucking work.
Yes.
Life's a work, the government's a work, the news is a work, everything's a work, and so you're more likely to, if you think of everything as a work, you're more likely to be a conspiracy theorist. Epstein didn't kill himself. Thank you, Ricky Gervais.
Jesse Ventura, yes.
Jesse Ventura, he was a big conspiracy guy, right?
Yeah, certainly still is. Didn't he host a TV show like about conspiracy theories?
I'm not sure. I remember he used to be on the radio. I remember seeing YouTube videos like back in the old days of YouTube of him on the radio. Like people had lifted the audio of him. He had a radio show or something. He was talking about the reptilians. And I was like, this fucking guy. That's amazing. I love that shit. If they're extraterrestrials, right? Are they really from outer space? Extraterrestrial. That's like on the land, right?
In the atmosphere, maybe.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Inner Earth, baby. Inner Earth. Anyway. MK Plus Ultra, interesting tag team name. I think I'm pulling for them to win now.
We'll see.
Can I do that just off a tag team?
Yeah, sure. You locked it in, man.
All right, Dowie James, and Will Ospreay, because that's all come from Dowie having a bit of a whinge that MCW fans respect outsiders too much, right?
I don't know. I've muted him on Twitter. I don't need to see him having support all the time.
You don't like anti
I really
for
like
Dowie?
it to start with, but then it's just like just so much just kept on turning up everywhere. And it's just like I'd prefer to have a cleaner timeline on Twitter where it's not so negative.
I haven't. I agree. I've started removing negativity from Instagram and Twitter and all that sort of stuff. It feels so much better.
Yeah.
It's really hard to
people that I really do like, and I think that they offer some good points and everything. But it's just like it just gets so toxic, and you'd see all the arguments. Like I really don't need to be reading this at all.
It's very hard to do. I have seen Dowie referred to a few times now as budget David Starr.
Yep.
Mostly from people overseas who are big David Starr fans. I personally like what Dowie's doing. I'm a big fan. I call it Antifa Dowie because you've got CK Dowie, right? The fashion Dowie. You've got Super Dowie, and you've got Karate Dowie in Underworld Wrestling.
Underworld Wrestling.
Pyro.
Whatever happened to them?
I don't know. Apparently they're doing a season 2 eventually. Who knows? I enjoyed Underworld Wrestling a fucking lot, man. Available on Amazon Prime.
And they bloody cancelled like the week before for me to cancel the show. So
yeah, they moved it or whatever. But you know, these things
they
happen.
Didn't reschedule. They just didn't do it.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
No, I'm sure that was the season finale, right?
Yeah.
Well, the season finale ended up getting taped. Yeah, they wrapped up the season with the live reanimation and stuff. It's all available on Amazon Prime, so you can get that on Amazon Prime for your $7 a month, including free delivery or whatever it is. So go to Amazon Prime. I feel weird shilling all these things. I'm not getting any money for it, just so people know. I'm just advertising where you can see these wonderful Australian wrestling products and also line the pockets of Jeff Bezos. But no, Dowie has been complaining a lot that MCW fans are too willing to line the pockets of internationals who don't really give a fuck about us and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a fan of the shtick. I call it Antifa Dowie because he goes on a lot of social justice rants and stuff. I haven't looked at his Twitter lately. I wonder if he's called people hypocrites over talking about the bushfires when they don't care about climate change, really. Because that would be ultra mega heel if he's done that. Because that's kind of his thing.
I imagine he would have.
I don't know. Is the bushfires like? Is it too sacred? Like, is it somewhere that you don't go?
I don't know.
I'm going to be browsing while we're still talking. So.
I'm literally having a look right now. People, this is thrilling radio. We've all pulled out our phones and we're having a look at Dowie's Twitter. He's got a retweet here about blasting News Corp's bushfire coverage. Not Twitter, not the Greens, not inner city chattering classes, a News Corp executive, dangerous misinformation. I don't know, but I don't think he has. I don't think he's been calling
like his
people.
Jacket, though. I'll give him that.
Oh, dude, it's such a good jacket, right? Yeah. It's a bit Finn Balor-esque.
Okay, I hadn't considered that.
Yeah. It's like a cross between Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano when Johnny does like the Spider-Man entrances and stuff. So he's like taken the Super Dowie thing and gone dark with it and put it like black leather. I like it though. I like it. I'm a fan of Dowie James. That's what I'm saying here. Mm-hmm. And I think he does brilliant heel work. And him versus Will Ospreay is going to be an early contender for Australian Match of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, Danny Psycho versus Royce Chambers is going to be off the chain as well.
I think I've only seen Royce once, and like his first MCW match, and that would have been back when I was drinking heavily at wrestling shows, so I can't remember it. And I'm still sober, by the way. It's like 139 days.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. I'm still smoke-free.
Oh!
Mm-hmm. Other than the smoke in our atmosphere.
Yeah.
But,
it's still a good effort.
We'll get there. Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So Danny Psycho and Royce Chambers, that's this weekend. And I think Kellyanne is...
Avery.
Kellyanne and Avery for the women's championship, right?
The number one contendership.
Oh, right, yeah, because Steph DeLanda won the title. My bad. Oh, yeah, you can tell it's been a while since I watched properly. Yeah, no, for sure. Steph DeLanda, that was a fantastic tournament, though.
Absolutely,
Steph being the first champion is fantastic, but I just automatically, you think MCW women, you think Kellyanne straight away. So...
I feel like we probably saw this match twice, 2 or 3 times last year. I think
Yeah, well, they've had
a
a bit of a
combination
feud.
of them two with Indy Hartwell would just seem to be going around in circles with those three.
Well, they're the
So,
three locals, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why MCW don't use Erica Reed more.
Did you say PWA were on the same weekend? So
Yeah,
there's
same
probably
night.
Okay, so they. Yeah, so
Same
it was
night.
Steph Delander can't be at MCW to see who's going to face a. All right.
Apparently, Caveman Ugg is going to be at MCW though.
Yeah, against Hartley Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
the reason not to beat it. Yeah.
That's huge. That's like move the ring huge. Harley Jackson, by the way, just quietly just returning to indie wrestling in Australia, just like nothing happened. Like he's a trainer for NXT and now he's here. What's up with that?
Is he scouting? Is he still affiliated? It's still up in the air to me.
No
What's
idea.
happening with Shane Thorne? Because I sent you that thing that he was like doing a seminar or something at, was it EPW?
Yep. Actually, as we're talking, their inter-school carnival, their showcase with all the interstate guys who came over, it's happening right now. So
Yeah, because they had their big summer camp for pro wrestlers, right?
yeah, so had Jet Ruka, had one of the prefects come over. Like, there's quite a few people coming around. Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, I had a list.
Which one? I'm testing you now. Testing you.
now. No,
Which
I
one?
can't remember. Sorry.
Oh, fair enough. But one of the prefects is there. What about the prefects? Only one of them got into university.
Yeah, it's weird. I would have thought, like, what does that mean? Did they have to?
I want to say it's Jimmy that didn't get in. But I don't know. I don't know what this means for the prefects. Do they have to break up?
Yeah, Jimmy's the one who's here.
Okay, there you go. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe that's why he's over there, because he doesn't have uni to get ready for. So
Is there any chance that Shane Thorne is like leaving WWE if like his
I don't
contract
think so.
is up?
No, I doubt it.
I think he's just home for the holidays.
Yeah.
Do you think they let him do this stuff though?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. Was it's WWE?
They got nothing
You
for
want people
him.
to sit out their contracts and go to the competition? Let them
I
do the
suppose
things
they
that
had,
make them happy.
Primo was just off in Puerto Rico doing whatever and didn't go back to do that the drug testing. So I guess like he can just work doing whatever else he was doing.
Yeah,
as long as he's not physically wrestling matches.
Yeah, no, 100%. I don't think running seminar. Don't think that's an issue. I think it'd be pretty easy to get that approved, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of the big local stuff happening this weekend. There is a lot of other stuff, of course, across the country that you can get out and get to. I think AWA in Queensland, they have a Rumble this weekend because Royal Rumble season. Royal Rumble's coming up, so we're having a Rumble there as well. So there's a lot of stuff to get out to and check out. But let's have a talk about some international happenings, and let's start with something that's pretty disturbing. Rory Gulak, who was on our shores for Coliseum.
Yep.
We met him. He forced his way onto our show without consent. Just putting that out there.
I still don't know who this guy is. But
just as a statement of character, Mysterious. You were talking to young Ricky South.
Yes.
And in comes Rory Gulak without consent.
Yeah.
Just like he does in the DMs.
I was there. I'm familiar.
Just like he does in the DMs. So Rory Gulak's a creep, apparently. Allegedly. We have to say that, legally speaking. Allegedly. A bunch of stuff has come out on Twitter about Rory Gulak supposedly being a pedophile and people knowing it. Which, God, I hope no one here knew that when they booked him.
Yeah.
Because
is he an American wrestler? What's his story?
Yeah, he's Catch Point.
I know who Drew Gulak is.
Yeah, so he's Drew Gulak's brother. He's Drew Gulak's brother. He's a Catch Point representative. He's one of those guys. Chikara is his big bread and butter. And they've given him the Benoit treatment.
Ooh.
Yeah, they've wiped him clean because of the accusations online, and there is a police investigation. And so presuming the people there know more than we do. But that's the thing, Mike Quackenbush and Shakara, such a kid-friendly promotion with some of the things that he was saying in some of these screenshots and stuff. It's pretty disturbing to think that people might have known this. Like, how the fuck do we clean up an industry that will harbor these people?
I don't know. I'm sure that in every industry, you might be friends with somebody and you know that they're doing something and it's more like, I don't want to know about it. I'd rather not have known and just like.
I mean, some of the shit didn't concern me because I'm fucked up in the head, right? Like, some people were tweeting and there was like pictures of him, like, you know, saying some daddy stuff or whatever, and I'm like, man, a lot of girls are into the daddy thing. Like, there's a lot of girls that are into the daddy thing, and then there was stuff about like bestiality porn or whatever, and he was saying like, oh, I don't search for it, but sometimes it just pops up or whatever, and you know, I mean, look, porn's fucked up. There's a lot of fucked up shit out there. We've all seen the shit pop up. We hopefully don't fucking click it because it's weird and freaky. But like, I don't know, man. Like, some of it, I'm just like, some of it sounded like, do you remember when Blink-182 were in their heyday, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, and they'd make jokes on stage about like, oh, one time I came in a sock and I had to apologize to my grandpa. Like, shit like that. And it's stuff like that, but in messages, and people are going, oh, look how creepy this is. And I'm like, it could just be really bad toilet humor. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I feel like the Blink guys would have gotten in a lot of trouble if DMing was a thing in the early 2000s. You know? Some of it didn't faze me, but some of it was very disturbing. And if he is what they say he is, and apparently there was actually child porn involved, and that's why there's a police investigation. And if he is what he says there is, and people knew, because that's the other part, the other disturbing part is the person who came forward with it, and then other people came forward with their stories, and they're saying like, oh, we're getting DMs from other wrestlers being like, oh, we knew about this. You're talking about Rory, right? You're talking about this, blah, 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 and all that stuff. That's the most disturbing part to me. I think that the people who have made these accusations and have gone, oh, we've gotten so many DMs from other wrestlers being like, oh, we know who you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. Name and shame those people too, because they're harboring a fucking pedo, right?
It's just baffling to think like stuff like this is like early days of like early years of wrestling, like just when like trying to like. I honestly don't know what to say about it, to be honest, because like you think we've kind of evolved from this point. Just
if you are listening to this, I know a lot of people in Australian wrestling listen to this. If you are listening to this and you know of any of the people who you work with, and you know for a fact that they've raped someone, or that they've got child porn on their phone, or done any kind of creepy, disgusting shit like that. If they regularly jump people at clubs, I don't fucking know. Ostracize them. Cut them out. Call them out, and call them out, cut them out. There we go. There's the catchphrase. Mm-hmm. Call them out, cut them out. We don't want that shit. We don't want to support that as fans. That's my rant. Call them out, cut them out.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Yeah. Sorry. It just bums me out because I mean, I'm on the fringes and I hear things, but I don't know anything for sure. But if there's anyone who knows things, like, fucking come forward, because if you know for sure and you don't come forward, like, you're just as bad. And I do understand that there's layers to this shit. Like, I understand that, there may be reasons not to, but there is no reason big enough. You will have the support of everyone, with a right mind in the community. So I just think, let's get the shit out. Like, let's expose the shit and get rid of it. That's my thoughts. Yeah. Because I'm scared and concerned that there's potential that people at PWA knew, right? I have to assume they didn't, because I know the people at PWA and I love the people at PWA, right? Yeah. And I have to think that there's no way they would book someone if they knew that.
Is that the only time he's been there?
Yeah,
Because like he went to FWA, he went to a couple other places while he was in.
he stayed in Sydney for a while and
Yeah.
was like training with everyone, and so he got bookings from being at the dojo and training with everyone. You know, scary shit. So that's my rant on that. Does someone have something lighter for us to talk about? God damn.
Well, we've covered a bit of PWA and MCW. Did you want to look more to international, or should we talk a bit more about Wrestle Kingdom?
Well, Wrestle Kingdom's a big thing that happened, right?
Yeah.
That happened this week, last week.
We mentioned
a week ago.
We mentioned Liger a little bit, like he had his retirement ceremony, his last 2 matches.
Did all 3 of us cry? 'Cause I know I did.
I got a bit teary.
When Tanahashi lost it, and then the wife was there, and he patted her on the head. I'm like, oh my god! I wasn't expecting to have these feelings.
Yeah, I did not.
Liger fan.
I'm a
You didn't
big
cry?
crier, but I did not.
I got teary.
I just don't have that connection, I guess.
When Chris Charlton was doing all the translation, and then you could hear that he was losing it, that got me then.
That what I will admit, that's the closest I got.
Yeah,
because it's like obviously there's some very real emotion in that room, and if it was a smaller room and I could see more of the crowd, maybe, you know.
New Year's Dash, it wasn't massive.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It wasn't as emotional as I thought it would.
Cool. So any standout matches? Anything you want to talk about in particular? Like the last 4 matches were all pretty fantastic on night 1. But
I know you're not a fan of night 2. Hiromu and Will, man. Whew.
Yeah.
Well, I should mention I had 3 people come over. One of them is a wrestling fan. He watches AEW and has watched WWE for years up until he started AEW. Only seen New Japan once before.
Mm-hmm.
Another friend he's only seen. He came to watch Wrestle Kingdom last year. That's like the only wrestling since he was a kid. And then he brought a mate, and he hasn't watched any wrestling since he was 15 or something. And so had a wide spectrum of people watching this, and everybody enjoyed everything. There was a little bit of something for everyone, even like the 2 8-man tags.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's not going to do a whole lot for me, but you had Ishii giving like a suplex to bloody Bad Luck Fale, and I was like, I knew he could do it, but then got these other guys like, oh, he's going to give him up. It's like they're like so impressed just by the characters, and it was pretty wild show for them. But I still had a really good time and loved night 1.
Yeah, so. Yeah, night 1. That Sasuke special sequence that's gone around. Just oh my god.
Yeah, that's made the rounds on Twitter.
Yeah, my friends have lost it over that. It's like, holy shit. They're like, can you do this? I'm like, no. Like the most impressive part of that sequence was when Will Ospreay runs at him and he takes like the belly to belly and like
goes through
flies into the ring between the ropes. Yeah. And like that's just something you don't see somebody do. Like you've seen him do the Sasuke special a million times, but you haven't seen somebody take a belly to belly and not get caught in the ropes on the way in and just keep running. Like that was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Okada got me. Okada gets me every time. Mm-hmm. I watch an Okada match, and the way he paces his matches is just so brilliant, and the false finishes are so brilliant that, like, I know going in, especially on night 1, Okada versus Ibushi, I know Okada's winning. Okada wins, lol. Like, it's happening, right? For me, it was like Okada and Naito have to be the 2 that face in the final. I knew Okada was winning, but I bought it.
When Ibushi kicked out of, there was a certain Rainmaker, and he was like, it might have been the second or third one, and it's like, this is the one,
proper Rainmaker. It was like the real one. Yeah,
this is the one that he's not going to get. He's not going to kick out of it. When he kicked out, and it's like, holy fuck, Ibushi's going to win it because like, like if he kicked out of that, then like surely he's going to hit the next big move, but he just didn't get there, and it was still like fucking awesome match.
Just gets me every time. Okada is, look, if you want to call Okada wrestler of the decade, I have trouble arguing with you.
Those entrances alone from Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh yeah, he's with the bloody anime stuff going on. The new coat.
Yeah,
must be testing all the stuff for the Olympics.
Yeah, that's just awesome.
Tanahashi's entrance as well. Just a big fan.
Yeah.
just in general.
Has he got a remix
Tanahashi
theme? It
but-
sounds like he's got like some ska like trumpets going on in it.
Yeah, you complained about that. You didn't like that, did you?
I didn't complain. It's just like it was just different.
Yeah.
Getting into the rocker
Yeah,
theme
'cause-
with Jericho.
I was a big fan of Tanahashi and Jericho.
It was the
Love
most
that match.
the most sports entertainment match of the whole weekend, I think it's safe to say.
Like that's
think it
my
was
favorite
Jericho's
Jericho
best
match
match in
I've
Japan.
seen in years.
Yeah. It was
It
definitely
was his best match in Japan so far.
Yeah.
I mean, out of
But
this run.
People went crazy over the Omega match, where I didn't really like that one that much. But and I was pissed off that Jericho won it, but then still like did you guys see his backstage press conference thing where he still talked about wanting AEW and
opening the
New
forbidden
Japan to work
door
together?
and just let the talent collaborate and
It's got to happen
then
eventually, right? Like these two companies are on a collision course for working together. They have to.
if New Japan are doing their US expansion, you have to imagine that they want to try and like Jericho kind of said it best, like just get over the feuds and just if they work together, they can they don't have to work together, but if they collaborate together and it would make them stand out as more of a true alternative. The fact that they're willing to do that.
Yeah, look, I want to talk about that a little bit more in a second. But first, before we get to that, before we get to like relationships and New Japan and Impact and Ring of Honor and AEW and that whole scene that I want to talk about briefly. Goto versus Kenta as well was a match that I loved.
Can we talk about how the fucking English feed dropped out for an hour?
It did for you. It did for you. It didn't for me.
It did for everybody on Twitter and the Super Jcast bloody Discord thing. Some people got it back on quicker than some people were like going to illegal streams, and I clicked on some link and nothing happened, and then I ended up having to watch.
Fine.
I had to get the Japanese video feed on after an hour when I could even get to that, and then the English feed was all stuttery, like it was dropping frames, like you could not fix it. But the audio was fine, so I had to have the laptop and the app going on my phone simultaneously, so I could get the English commentary. So I missed the junior tag, Zack Sabre Jr. and Sonata, and John Moxley and Juice Robinson. So I missed 3 matches. I still haven't gone back to them.
Did you see the angle with Suzuki?
It came back on when Suzuki came out, and then I was like, "Fuck, they're doing the match now." As soon as that bell rang, I thought it was like, "This is the start of a match."
No, that was the bell ringing to get them out. Like, this shouldn't be happening. Yeah, no, that was.
I was trying to get the English commentary on, so then I could what's Chris Charles saying? What's going on here? What's going on here?
It was a good fucking Wrestle Kingdom. Considering it was 2 nights, I was a bit sketchy about the 2 nights. I was a bit sketchy about whether, but it was a real good fucking weekend of wrestling.
I don't want them to do 2 nights next year.
No,
it's a lot. I think it's a lot to ask the audience as well to be able to to sit. If you get on 2 nights, to sit that fucking far away and spend the whole night looking up at a screen, like on that second night, are you going to be so keen to do it again?
I don't think they will do it. I think they'll do it when Fourth falls on a weekend. Yeah.
You have to imagine WWE's going in that route, though. You have to. I have to think that.
I think that WWE could look at this and go, "Hey, maybe we could do WrestleMania 2 nights in a row."
Yeah,
maybe we could do that. And I
pump up those numbers for like Undertaker wins. You know.
Well, no, it would help you build a new streak if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It would help you build a new streak if you wanted to go 2 nights in a row and just never mention the fact that, the Undertaker streak, which this guy, Baron Corbin, probably is approaching, because it'll be Baron Corbin or someone as bad as Baron Corbin. They'll be like, they will never mention the fact that Undertaker's streak was done when it was 1 show a year, not a week of WrestleMania.
Do you want to talk about Naito actually becoming double gold champion? Or
so you hated it. I thought it was the logical choice.
Everybody loves him and he spits in people's faces. Like, he can go fuck himself.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his disrespect of the IC. We've talked about this on the show a bunch, but it made sense. Like, it was the only way to go with the story. Otherwise, what the fuck have you been doing? Like, the booking would have made no sense otherwise.
It's been like 6 years in the making, but it doesn't mean I'll have to like it.
No, but
Or-
it had to be Naito and it had to be Naito beating Okada because of their match a couple of years ago and how that made Naito so salty and his whole situation with the titles and him being the first guy to say he wants to be double champ and then all these other guys jumping in and it becoming a tournament, but it was his thing. It was always his thing, and it just made sense.
Yeah. I thought we would have seen two
the day is
double
going to come that he
champions
loses, and then he's not going to get it back again, is he? So sucked in to all NATO fans after that. I don't feel like he might hold it for a year. You know, that whatever. That's
over.
fine.
He is over in
but
Japan, yeah.
once he does lose it, do you think they're going to give him that other reign after they took this many years to give him this one?
Yeah, well, not only that though, the Naito Okada, I don't know what. I know that they didn't sell out Naito. I know that there weren't as many people, right? There was like 10,000 less people, and I don't know if they were expecting the night one result and we're doing Okada Naito. I don't know if they were expecting that to encourage more walk ups or whatever, but apparently, I guess it didn't work. So maybe he's not as over as we hope. I guess the only way to see is to wait it out and see how the reign goes. But I'm not a huge Naito fan myself, but it had to happen.
You can see
So at last year's Wrestle Kingdom is when they announced that this year's would be the 2 nights in a row, and they didn't announce anything at this show for the upcoming Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, they could just be waiting it out. They could be like, well, let's see how the numbers went. Let's see how, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He does have the
Before
first contender at New Beginnings, the man who ruined his night of celebration.
Saved the show.
Yeah, saved the show
Kenta
for some.
came out and ruined the celebration. Like, I was so ready to turn this off. I was like, I'm going to bed. And then Kenta come out and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm back online looking at everybody complain about Kenta. Like, yes.
Kenta was great. You were telling me you reckon he's going to take over Bullet Club, right?
I just had a feel that New Year's Dash main event, because even though like last year didn't really get any big, huge angles at New Year's Dash, like he was teaming with Jay White and it was against Sonata and Naito. It's like people talking about Sonata possibly leaving LIJ, and it's like, could he? And because he is the only LIJ that didn't win a championship at Wrestle Kingdom, like could he turn on Naito? And then also, like, would Jay White be jealous of Kenta and like Jay White couldn't get the job done in his tournament match, and could Kenta possibly be the first like Japanese actual leader of Bullet Club?
Yeah,
there have been rumors that
interesting.
There have been rumors that WWE are actually looking to get Jay White.
Oh, don't say this! Don't.
He won't.
You're gonna ruin my night.
He won't. I've heard interviews with the guy. He's New Japan through and through, man.
Yeah,
and he's making enough money. Like I don't think he's interested. I don't think he would be interested at all.
I hope that's the case. Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Let's get back to the relationships though, right? So New Japan has it's in an interesting position because they're not really working with Ring of Honor anymore. Ring of Honor kind of need to get their shit together. That's a whole other story. They're doing the American expansion. They've got a lot of shows in America this year, and yeah, the question is, will they eventually work with AEW? Impact wanted to work with them, so Impact, of course. Well, Anthem Sports, which runs Impact, purchased Access, the TV network, right? Or they purchased a majority stake. They're part owners in Access TV. And they asked New Japan for a working relationship with Impact. New Japan said no. And
because of
a week later...
Yeah,
which is fair, even though it's a completely different team, so Impact might not think it's fair. But then a week later... Access TV announced that they're dumping New Japan from their programming. So take from that what you will. Theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's right fucking there. Yeah. It's on paper. It's you want to work with us? No. Yeah, we don't want to work with you either.
Get out of here.
I just picture Don Callis as being like, "That's a real fine show you got on Saturday nights on Access TV." Be a shame if someone cancelled it.
Yeah.
And they were just like,
I don't know how many people were watching that anyway.
We still do not want to work with you. All right, fine. That's fair.
Do you think if New Japan did get like a big TV deal in America, like how would that impact New Japan World? Like would it go on like a 24-hour delay or 30-day delay? Like
I don't know.
A lot of people would be upset about that.
I don't know. I want them on ESPN.
Yeah, but then like
I
the
just
way
think
that
they
the
fit.
like New Japan doesn't do a weekly show. They have like these crazy schedules that they do. It's not like every Tuesday night we've got New Japan wrestling. Like,
Yeah,
what would that show be if they broadcast?
you could put together a weekly show of matches from the crazy schedule that New Japan run.
They could probably do without all the Road 2 shows, but I don't know.
You just make it a studio show. You do a hodgepodge. Put together some matches and have some
Oh, yeah.
analysts
I get
tell
what you
the
mean.
stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We take you to this fight. Took place Saturday, the 4th of December. Blah blah blah. Whatever. And then they go through it. I think it could work.
Okay. Isn't it live sports that they really want, though, these TV networks?
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
But they could. I mean, if AEW get their shit together and start being a little more successful. I mean, I know the ratings they've been happy with or whatever, but let's talk about that too. Yeah, no. If AEW and NXT and stuff, if the boom sort of continues and gets bigger, then other networks might just look for wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So, let's talk about AEW. I'm a big AEW fan. We know this. I fell asleep during this week's episode.
I wish I was asleep during this week's episode.
It wasn't. It was the lowest one of Dynamite so far, which is yeah.
They've had a rough
quality. Do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've had a rough.
But it was
couple
like
of
the
weeks.
second highest rated, wasn't it?
They're one of the
Probably.
ratings in spite of themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, they almost hit
NXT was
million.
way better. I feel like they've had a rough couple of weeks for me. So I'm starting to question some of the writing decisions. And like, look, if their ratings are going up, good. I haven't looked at the ratings. I probably should have before we did this, but whatever.
917,000
Compared to
Okay, that's a good number.
748 for NXT.
721? Oh, 748. Okay.
That's a good number. What did they do in the demo?
They were still didn't
0.3.
Still smashing
still
it.
smashing. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know there were a couple of weeks where NXT caught up. And here's the thing: when there was that really bad week, and everyone was fucking saying, "Oh, AEW's dead. AEW's dead in the water. Look at this." No, you fucking idiots! And this is what I've said. This is what I've said from the beginning. AEW's audience is younger and hipper, right?
Mm-hmm.
As hip as a wrestling audience can be. Let's put it that way. As hip as a wrestling audience can be. And they are more likely to be affected by big cultural events. So, come Thanksgiving, they are less likely to watch wrestling as they are partying with friends or family, as opposed to the 40, 50, 60-year-olds that are watching NXT, right? And they're like, well, it's my wrestling day. I don't care if it's Thanksgiving, right? And so they're going to watch the wrestling because it's their wrestling day, one of their wrestling days. And same comes the impeachment. The Donald Trump impeachment hearing is happening, right? The AEW audience is a more engaged audience to the culture, and they're more likely to go, well, let's see this whole Donald Trump thing play out and watch CNN as opposed to...
Wouldn't a lot of like 50-year-old plus people be watching CNN and give a shit about...
No, but what I'm saying is, and I'm not... I don't know, the whole can't teach an old dog new tricks. I don't believe in that personally, but a lot of people do. And a lot of people are sort of like, when you get to a certain age, you have your routines and you do what you do. If your routine is every Wednesday night you watch NXT and you're of a certain age, that's just what you do on a Wednesday night. It does not matter what is happening, right? No matter what is happening, it's Wednesday night, it's 8:30, I'm sitting down to watch me NXT. It's what I do, right? Whereas if you're a bit younger, you go, I'm going to watch this Donald Trump impeachment. I'm going to watch this, blah, blah, blah. If you're more culturally engaged, some people aren't culturally engaged, is what I'm saying. And the WWE audience are less likely to be culturally engaged, which explains their continued success despite Saudi Arabia, right? Their audience don't give a shit about the world, much like their chairman.
Yes.
So,
kind of segueing onto that, because you have AEW next week, they're bringing back Bash at the Beach. You have to think maybe they're going to try and help with the older demographic there, maybe. But
well, actually, before we do that though, the Bash at the Beach is going to be awesome. I'm actually really excited for that episode. I was just saying, I'm starting to question some of their writing decisions. Things like why does Park have to beat up a bunch of Kenny Omega's friends to get Kenny Omega to accept a match? Kenny Omega's the face. The face should be ready and willing to fight at all times.
When the camera cut to backstage and Pac's choking out Michael Nakazawa, and you got those referees just grabbing at him, it looks so comical. It's like, what is this? Like the referee,
I don't care about that.
Just sitting on a couch, just grabbing him around the neck or something. Get off! I was like, oh my god, what the hell is this? Like this was just.
I just don't understand why the heel has to be. I don't understand why the heel has to be begging for a match. That's the part I don't understand.
Follow up last time that he's watching him playing a game or something. It's like, oh, you better come stop me, and he goes in the door, and then there was no follow up, and that was weeks
also
ago.
Some of the follow ups and some of the things they do follow up on
Dark. Don't say I was on Dark.
Some of the things they follow up on Dark and on being the elite. They do. They do. And they shouldn't. They shouldn't all the time. They really shouldn't. Some of the there's certain things that need to stay on the main program, so I don't know. But there's some. I'm starting to have some questions, but I still have faith that they'll get it together and they'll figure it out because they do seem to learn when they make mistakes. From what I can tell so far.
Dark Order, anybody?
Nightmare Collective, anybody?
I'm enjoying Dark Order now. All right.
Not more Nightmare Collective. This Brandy Rhodes on
the Nightmare Collective is bad.
Burying everything worse than Jim Ross was the third best, third worst commentator on the show this week. Like he was better than that old dude at the start, and he was far better than anything that Brandy Rhodes was saying. He was having none of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was actually the old guy in that first match that put me to sleep. That was where I struggled. No, so
at least when Lenny Poffo turns up, it's like, Christ, don't put him on commentary again. We already did that once this year.
we went through this in Japan. Don't do it. They're like, will you work with us now, New Japan? You'll know. So anyway, AEW though, Jericho and Cody both offering up things with the Australian bushfires, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Charity fundraisers, clothing items, that sort of thing. WWE?
Nothing.
Radio silence.
Yep.
Nothing. Obviously, individual superstars. I mean, and Cody, when you look at Cody doing something, that's AEW doing something. Sorry, I know it wasn't AEW, it was Cody, but it was AEW.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Cody is one of the executives, right? Just radio silence from, and the McMahons have more Australians working for them than any other wrestling company.
Yeah, well,
silence.
Unless they can get a lot of publicity out of it, do you really expect
but
them to do anything?
They could. You don't think? Look how much publicity Miley Cyrus got for donating however many million it was and flying some planes with water over.
Okay, I didn't see the Miley Cyrus one, to be honest.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of Celeste Barber?
No.
Before this week?
No.
The publicity is there.
Somebody's going to watch a comedy. Her stand-up routine is going to be incredibly racist, and everyone's going to look really silly, aren't they?
Yeah, it turns out she's Richard Spencer, the comedian. She's so these black people, huh? We should separate. I don't know. Yeah, it's that would be actually pretty funny. I'm going to look up Celeste Barber comedy now. But I think that's most of the stuff that I wanted to talk about, really, was just, how useless WWE is at everything and how the world's on fire. And how about yours? All that stuff.
Before we move off AEW, this is I skipped a lot of the World Tag, or I skipped all of World Tag League, to be honest. So I'm only watching New Japan and AEW. I haven't missed an episode since it's had their weekly show. My girlfriend and I share an account and watch. That's our date night on the Thursday night. It's she lives in Melbourne. Mm-hmm. I'm here in Launceston, and we'll put that on and we'll get it all synced up and we'll watch it and we'll be messaging and then normally talk over it as well. And this episode finished, I said, "Are you still really enjoying AEW?" Because I'm feeling like, please say that you're not enjoying it. I could do without this and switch it to something else. There's bits and pieces for both of us that we like and dislike. Everything with Chris Jericho, John Moxley, I'm really enjoying. Mm-hmm. Jurassic Express, I enjoy, and I'm not even liking the Kenny Omega stuff, but there is Adam Page. I'm a big fan of him, and his drinking stuff has been quite
His,
entertaining.
his cowboy shit.
Drunk cowboy.
Yeah, that banner that they brought up has been drinking all day or whatever it said for him the other
Yeah.
week. Yeah,
Look, they're
So-
doing a lot of things right. I'm enjoying a lot of the stuff they're doing. So the stuff that's failing is failing miserably, though. I think the brandy stuff really needs to go.
Japanese.
And I say that
deathmatch
I
legend.
love brandy, but
What is this Luther character getting taken out by Riho?
Oh, the
yeah.
Dr.
Well,
Luther.
let's talk
yeah.
about some good though. Chris Statlander's killing it.
Yeah. I think more so you get to see her personality more on being the elite and AEW Dark.
Mm.
Like I love shipping her with Orange Cassidy after their little brief exchange.
I think they
Nice.
need to put the title on Hikaru Shida and be done with it because I don't know about all these other jokers.
Yeah. I'll say this about wrestling in 2020. I was lucky enough to receive a Nintendo Switch for my birthday in November.
Mhm.
And so now wrestling has to compete with Pokemon,
Yeah,
which is something it did not have to do for a few years with me. So step your game up, wrestling. Step your game up because yeah.
it's turn-based combat. It's not like you have to be super engaged with Pokemon to be able to play it and watch wrestling.
Oh no, I've been watching wrestling while playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon added in this new generation, they've added a new so Horlucha is my favorite Pokemon of all time for obvious reasons, right? It's a flying, fighting, wrestling luchador bird, right?
What gen? I mean, I don't know about this one.
They've added a new one in this generation called
it's
called Grappaloct.
Oh, okay.
He's an octopus judo wrestler. It's fucking fantastic, man. They're the best tag team in the history of tag teams. I'll put them up there against fucking anyone. Put them up there against the Horsemen, okay? All right? Grappaloct and Horlucha, best tag team of 2020. They've already won the award. Speaking of awards,
Awards.
how we're
Are we
getting
on to
there.
awards? Okay.
we're going to talk about awards. Is there anything else? We didn't really have a run sheet. We just had like a brief message in chat about what we're going to talk about. This is the new casual B+. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. That's all we got, right? General
Yeah.
state of wrestling. That's real vague. Does anyone have anything else about the general state of wrestling?
February 22nd, Airport Sports Ground. Come see Tasmanian Championship Wrestling. Big night of wrestling for you.
Oh, wow. Yep. TCW, get the plugs in.
Tickets at Eventbrite.
Love it.
Front row selling very quick. I think front row might only have
Let's
sold
give some
90%.
awards. Let's
Okay.
give some
Let's give some
awards.
awards.
Let's give some awards. All right. We're going to go around the triangle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a thing, right? Around the triangle?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna bounce around and we're gonna give a couple of awards. Let's start with match of the year in Australia.
Oh.
What would you guys have as your
I've
match
got
of the year in Australia? And what we're gonna do is we're each gonna give one, so we can't double up.
Okay.
We're each gonna give one, and then we will decide from the three which the greatest is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm springing this on you now, so
Yeah, I've got some others. Like after we do these official ones, I have a bunch of things I want to mention as well.
Alright.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right, I'll go first, I guess. Out of all of Australia, I would go for Travis Banks, Matty Warburg, Finals of Coliseum.
Finals of Coliseum. That's a good choice. I knew
Do
you were
want
going
to
to
talk
do
about
that one.
for people that haven't seen it like me? Because
Well, why
I feel
haven't
like
you seen
guys
it?
are going to have PWA. I haven't never watched PWA.
Log on to OVO Play. It is $7 for a week, $10 for a month. They have at least 4 shows a month across PWA and Newcastle Pro Wrestling. It's well worth your money. It's support Aussie Graps, man. What are you doing? These are people you're going to be working with, so you better get your shit together.
Okay, what's your match then?
So mine is also a PWA match. Sorry. It's Jack Bonza and Mick Moretti. Whoa, what was the show? See, here's the thing. My computer broke, and so I lost all my spreadsheets. So I'm blanking on the show, but it was Jack Bonza and Mick Moretti. The fight for Green Thunder. It was the final of Coliseum. It was earlier in the year.
Okay.
So we've got 2 Coliseum finals as our match of the years. What have you got, Ben?
Well, I've got 2 that I wanted to go for, but Slex versus Gino Gambino at Clash of the Titans, where Slex finally dethrones Gino and is the double champion there.
Big moment.
Absolutely.
It was a little bit overbooked. Like there was a lot of like kickouts and just crazy stuff going on with what's that, Seb Costello and shit. But like that house, I think it was like a legit sellout. It was fucking stinking hot in there, and it was just like we're drinking. I was drinking back then still. But when he won, like we're like my friends were just hugging each other and just screaming. It was just absolute amazing. And then the title reign itself didn't go
Not
as
so
well.
much.
Like Flex was injured, and then he wasn't on another show or something, and then he was defending against like Lockie Hendricks or something. But
Now he's in Ring of Honor.
yeah. Yes, like 2 days a month or something. Ospreay versus Robbie Eagles from Southern Showdown. Oh, I'm losing my voice now. Which was just incredible live match to be at. Anyway, yep. Sorry, I don't keep talking too much.
Hell yeah. Look, I could get behind Slex and Gino for the moment. I could get behind it for the moment, but honestly, the Matty Wahlberg Travis Banks moment is a big moment too, especially if you follow the story of Matty Wahlberg and you know him not being able to overcome UG, him losing all year, him losing at Survivor, and him needing that win and getting it. It's pretty fucking huge. I'm torn. It's a tough
Do we
one.
have to decide on one? Well, I haven't seen you guys 2 matches.
Well, the fact that you haven't seen it makes it a bit hard, right? We've seen the MCW match, so I think it wins by default.
I didn't realize I had to. I'm just going to go get a glass of water because my throat's killing me.
We could put it to a fan poll, maybe. Should we put it to a fan poll?
Yeah, sure. That might be the better option. Just
We'll put it to a fan poll on Twitter. You guys decide. We're going to offer up. There we go. Making up awards rules as we go. We're gonna put up the 3 nominations from the 3 of us, and then you guys vote on Twitter. Twitter.com/the B+Wrestle, because wrestling wouldn't fit. Seriously, it feels so good to say all these things again. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've said all these things. Can you tell I'm stalling while I wait for Ben to get back? Here we go.
Back.
All right.
okay, good.
So what we're doing, Ben, we're going to offer up the 3 nominations, and then we're going to put it up to a Twitter poll for people.
You make sure you're writing these down, are you?
I mean, I'll write them down when I do the editing. Sure.
Okay.
Why not? So then we've got that's wonderful sound effects in the background there. We've got so that was Australian match of the year. What about just match of the year in general?
All right. Mysterious, you go again.
It's like I find it hard just because it's any promotion, just
any promotion anywhere in the world.
Jesus Christ. Honestly, like this is more recency bias, but I love the Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, like Rhea finally getting the women's title.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Just Aussie Pride coming out and just...
We're all about the moments
here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's like some big ones that I'm missing, but honestly, like it's just so hard. And like my wrestling is really narrowed in recent years. Like the promotions, like it's more MLW, Impact, and NWA. Yeah.
But you can put forth a nomination from those.
I could. I'll tell you what. Fatu versus LA Park super fight. That
Fatu versus LA
they
Park
just
cool.
killed each other for that one, and yeah.
Benny, what do you got?
From Dominion last year, Ibushi versus Naito. I was crying in this match when Ibushi took that German suplex on the ring apron.
Oh, you reminded me. I can see it.
Ibushi is my absolute all-time favorite wrestler. I would cry if I ever got to meet him and have a photo with him. Like,
just dead.
He's just like, he's absolutely amazing to me, and I was so concerned for his well-being in this. And then the match goes like another 10 or so minutes, and absolutely thrilling. To just escalate the violence so much in that match. It was so good.
Yeah. I'm torn for my nomination. I'm torn between Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, 2 out of 3 falls,
Oh, yep.
and Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan, Joey Janela, Spring Break.
I've seen the gifs. It looks amazing.
I
is
will
amazing.
never stop singing the praises of this match. To me, wrestling is performance art, and this is peak wrestling.
Mhm.
Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan. It's
you-
just Bryce
Can you
Remsburg.
nominate the referee? You should. Yeah, Bryce
Yeah.
Remsburg.
It's just Bryce Remsburg in the ring for 15 minutes or whatever it is, just putting on a fucking clinic.
Hmm.
Like, you're going to start refereeing matches. Go watch this match. Go watch this match.
That's a good. Yeah,
It's a great idea, actually.
Because
yeah.
it's just a referee. That's all it is.
yeah, that's a good idea.
And the crowd, like, this one guy pretending there's invisible people fighting, and he has the crowd in the palm of his hand. Just like, oh, boo, oh, yay. It's one of those matches where you have to understand the language of wrestling, right?
Yeah. And the crowd reactions to a punch and
Exactly.
reversals and yeah.
If you show that match to someone who's never watched wrestling before, they're just like,
What is wrong with you?
what the fuck is this? Like, what are the crowd doing? But like, if you understand the language of wrestling, it's the greatest thing you'll ever watch ever in your life. I think the real answer here is I've got to put up Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole, but it's hard. It's hard not to put up that Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan match. So well, I'll figure that out when I go to the poll. I might put both. Fuck it. Why not? What
I
about
also want to shout out Ospreay versus Dragon Lee, also off Dominion. Like 2 amazing matches on one show. And then Jordan Devlin versus David Starr from
Devlin versus
OTT.
Star was mint? Yes.
Just a few months. I think it was October, that one.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Also, anything Will Ospreay does ever. Just
Yep.
Yeah.
anyway.
Pretty easy. Yeah.
Was Ospreay a kid this year? It was, right? The
I
one that
don't
went
know.
viral, the match from Spain? Holy shit. Anyway, no, I think moving on. Does anyone have any other categories before we get to the Wrestler of the Year? Because I was real lazy with it. I'm like, we've got 4 categories.
I've got best moments.
Best moments?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Or ones are just angles type of thing. Like Kenta, the heel turn, joining Bullet Club and Shibata. Everything that happened with Shibata in that whole angle. Just like, is this fucking happening? What on earth? Is he back? And Kenta turning heel and all that. I've got Ibushi winning the G1. A long time coming. Like, he finally signs that bloody long-term contract with New Japan and you're winning the G1, baby. And then Hiromu finally returning after his broken neck, like 16 months or whatever it was after that injury. And then having a fucking awesome match as well.
Hell yeah. I could go the Fiend Bray Wyatt's first entrance, like the first Fiend
Ooh,
entrance.
That's a good one. Yep.
At SummerSlam.
Yes. Finn Balor.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope as hell. Like, just the entrance, just super dope. You know, and then they gave him a mallet, and you know, it was all downhill. And red lights, bloody hell. I think for
Another
a moment, I'd put that in there for a moment.
Another one I've got here is for a local one. We've got Slex beating Gino, like not just the match, but just like the outcome. And then MCW announcing a women's championship.
All right. Well, hold up. We'll get to a local moment after Mysterious gives his international moment.
International moment. Just because I was following the story for so long, MJF kicking Cody in the balls, finally turning on his friend.
The turn. Hell yeah. I got into that, man, because I was like, no, it can't happen. Yeah, it's happening. You know, I was into that. I was very into that for sure. Has no one said, I need my older brother?
Oh.
No?
I think
That's a moment.
I think because the Young Bucks just overplayed it on being the elite and just like,
That's what I'm not talking about the original moment. I'm talking about the Young Bucks' constant recreation of that moment. So good. All right, for local moments, I got to go with Maddie winning the sword, pulling Mama Wahlberg into the ring. That whole after show speech, holy shit! It was incredible. That was a hell of to be there live for that moment was magical.
Yeah.
I'll let you go before I give my extra one.
Like, so this is just in all of Australia, or
Yeah.
okay? So I can't pick the same now.
Well, look, if you want that to be yours, I can say the debut of James Adultman in the Break Their Backs and Make Them Rumble.
Okay, because I didn't see that one, so I'll take the one you had before then.
Just James Adultman, just in general. How do you not watch PWA, Ben?
There's only so many hours in the day. I've got wrestling training 2 nights a week, by the way.
Mate, James Adultman is wrestling. That you don't get this reference at all pains me. Pains me in my soul. All right, any other categories that anyone wants to throw forward?
Oh, well, there's the best wrestler. That we
now
is that our last one?
here's the question: do we gender this or not? Because I prefer not to.
Well, I've got 3 guys down and no woman, so
It's like,
All right.
Don't
Well,
know
in that case, we'll gender it,
Mhm.
and we'll go with we'll start with best women's wrestler international.
like who's it, Australian
I
or
can't think of anyone.
No, international.
international? Tessa Blanchard.
God damn it!
I'm actually going to get that pay-per-view because I really want to see
I
this
want to
match.
see
And I haven't
her
watched Impact.
win the
I haven't seen
Impact
Impact
title.
for years.
Son of a bitch, goddamn whore! You took my nomination.
Are you getting that pay-per-view, Greg?
I mean, I will find a way to watch it. Let's
Well,
put it that
Mysterious. Mysterious, do you want to go halves in it and then just share an account?
I'll need to look into it. Actually, yeah, we'll talk after.
That's not legal, guys. I cannot advise that you do that.
$31. It's $31 Australian.
Save it for the goddamn chat.
You can just put this bit in reverse so nobody will.
Yeah, so Tessa Blanchard was going to be mine, but I'll go with Charlotte Flair. The quality's been there.
Mhm.
I said this on the show with No Name End of Year Awards was like, WWE, there hasn't been many big moments for the women, really. Like, I mean, she did some headlining and obviously headlined Mania and all that stuff. Like, there's
Becky
been
Two
some
Belts.
stuff.
Should we say about that as well, or the WrestleMania?
I think it's got to go. It's got to go to Tessa. If Twitter people, if you don't vote Tessa, I'm going to be very disappointed. Do you have any nominations, Ben?
To mention, actually, but I've got this match written down, so this is good a point as any to bring it up.
Yeah.
Onto me. Okay, I'm going to give it to these 2 girls, so I don't know which one was which. When I was on my Japan trip last year, I went to 9 shows. The first show of the whole trip was Sendai Girls. This was the middle of the day, and there was like the opening match, Makoto Shindo versus Manami. These girls, 18 years old and 15 years old, and looking on their cage match, they've got 245 matches combined.
Holy shit!
This was 2 young girls beating the shit out of each other. This was nothing fancy, but it was hard hitting, just these grueling bloody submission holds and stuff. And
Sounds like something Rory Gulak would be into.
I've just got my hand over my face, like, oh my god, these girls are just brutalizing each other. It was tremendous.
Japan's weird. I don't think anyone's going to vote for that, but let's throw it in. Why not? Absolutely, let's throw them in.
I just wanted to mention somebody.
Local women, Jessica Troy. Ah,
Okay,
now you can't nominate Jessica Troy. Boom,
I'll
did it.
take Kellyanne then.
I'll take Avery.
Alrighty.
I don't think I've seen Kellyanne have
yeah.
a bad match. Avery was away. Like, how
Stardom.
many
She was
months
in-
did she?
Doing Stardom, man.
She was
yeah.
injured for a while. Oh no, she was in prison, right?
Oh yeah. That video.
What? Oh,
That's what we're supposed to believe. She was in prison, and then she was over in Stardom. But stuff in Stardom counts, right?
Yeah.
The 5-star Grand Prix. Yeah. All right, Avery. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. And male wrestler of the year.
I should have said Charlie Jordan. It's Charlie Jordan. Charlie Rose.
Just get more
Losing it now.
get more TCW plugs in.
Why not?
The North-esque champion there. No. So let's talk about male wrestler of the year for Australia.
Mm.
I think we all know Ben's going to say Slex.
I want to say Slex, but I feel like he wasn't. Like I'm just thinking of MCW, but he also had like the WSW shows as well. There was he had a really good match against Robbie Eagles on that, and then obviously there's the Gino match, and he's just had like really solid matches throughout the year. But then he's also gets stuck in a bloody tag team match with Seb Costello, where he got the minority of the ring times. Like,
It was
it's
still
like-
entertaining though.
I know. I forgot to bring up most disappointing category. Fucking Seb Costello and Auntie Donna being used by MCW.
Oh, I liked them. Auntie Donna's boys actually were kind of entertaining.
So, Slex, I guess.
Yeah, Slex, I guess. A ringing endorsement
God.
that fans
That's all
can really get behind when you get to the Twitter vote. Slex, I guess. That's actually what I'm going to write. Slex,
I don't know.
I guess.
I enjoy so many of them equally that it's like, do I really think Slex is that much better than anything that Robbie Eagles did that I saw live? I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't know.
A ringing endorsement from the future TCW.
Richie Taylor, he's my favorite. He's never had a bad match. There you go. Richie Taylor.
Richie Taylor's dope,
awesome.
man. I love Richie Taylor. That's my dude right there. Support the bearded brother
Last of a dying breed.
for sure.
He's got to be growing his beard back now. He shaved it off before.
He did, right? Oh man, I shaved mine too, but I didn't go all the way. Like I kept the face part.
I heard you never go all the way.
Yeah, no,
Um,
no. They don't like it. They don't like it.
no.
Fucking
Too much. Too much. Anyway,
Yeah.
for me, I'm gonna say, it's real tough. I'm gonna go with Mick Moretti.
Okay.
Jack Bonds is such a close second, though, especially working hurt like he did for the latter part of the year. But Mick Moretti, especially like he carries the flag overseas, so does Bonza. But with the Chikara Beyond, all the stuff that he's doing over there, obviously started the hashtags. That was years ago, but you know, it is what it is. It's helping. And he gets more and more ripped every time you see him, and he just does ridiculous things with his body in the ring, like the handstand on the ropes, and I don't know. He's incredible. Mick Moretti's incredible, and he does it all too. He does comedy. He does like proper like. I'm just a big fan of Mick Moretti.
It's a coin toss for me. Cause just thinking about who's like more mainstream, who's waving the flag. I'd either go Robbie or I'd go Bronson. I'm gonna go Bronson.
Right, so you're looking at Aussies overseas.
Yeah, Aussies overseas, like who've had like, because like Jonah was here for the first.
So why
time.
didn't you nominate Rhea in the last round?
I didn't real. I thought we said like that was international. Like
No, we were talking about local women just before,
I could have, yeah.
and now we're talking about local men.
Okay.
See, so I don't class Bronson or Robbie as local anymore, even though Robbie does still work the show.
Yeah.
but he's done more in Japan, really.
All right, then I'll go Maddie.
Maddie?
Yeah, go Maddie.
Oh, we'll put Maddie up there. Let's leave it to the people. Now the big one, Wrestler of the Year, International Worldwide Male Wrestler of the Year. What do we got for this one? Should I take the first one? I mean, I think we'll all have the same one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll say it on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Osprey.
Will
Bryce
Ospreay.
Remsburg.
What did you say, Mysterious?
Osprey.
So it's not Bryce Remsburg? Well, goddamn! I thought we were really vibing and having a moment. Obviously, it's Will Ospreay. Of course, it's Will Ospreay. Yeah. All right. People who've listened to the Show with No Name awards show heard me do the exact same joke with Matt Taven, but you know, whatever. Recycle jokes here. 2020. That's my thing.
Like,
Yeah,
he's personally not my favorite wrestler, but like, I definitely acknowledge all the fucking awesome matches he's had this year.
He's just had the best year of anyone ever in wrestling.
Yeah.
Ever.
And somehow made it through and then he's already started off this year with a bang.
Worked a heavier schedule than WWE wrestlers.
Even though he doesn't earn as
Like-
much money, all that Twitter feud shit.
Oh, he probably would have.
Yeah.
I reckon if you got Will Ospreay's bank account just from the last year and got, I don't know, Mustafa Ali's, right? Someone who's like there but not there.
Mm.
You know. I mean, I feel like
Did he get his deal re-upped recently for
Will
another 3
Ospreay
years?
definitely made more last year than like the revival. I reckon. You know.
Yeah, safe to say. Yeah.
I'd hope so.
So anyway, money aside, he's just had the best year of anyone ever in wrestling ever.
Yeah.
He did everything.
I feel like he's going to move to the heavyweight league. He's going to get out of the juniors and just explore new territory.
Yeah, he's on that path. But Will Ospreay, obviously, he's a cut above, and I think he will win quite handily when we take this to a Twitter poll, which is starting to sound like a lot of work. But whatever, let's do it. But who else do we put up? I guess we put up Adam Cole.
Yep.
Well, I had Ibushi and Jay White as my others. But
Ibushi and Jay White. Cool.
Ospreay's far ahead.
Yeah. Anyone else you want to throw in the mix? Mysterious?
I'll throw in Bronson.
All right. We'll put that out to you, the people.
Mm-hmm.
And please vote so we have something to talk about next week. Also next week, you're going to have a quiz for us, Ben?
I don't know. It's a lot of work making quizzes, man.
I've missed your quizzes, man.
Is this for next week or for now, did you just
Next
say?
week. Next week.
Yeah.
We're going to have to record on a different day next week.
Oh, do we?
My girlfriend's going to be down from Melbourne, and she's not going to be sitting in here while I'm doing this.
Well,
and then the Friday afterwards...
Tell her to join the show. She watches AEW. We can have a bitch session. It'll be great.
I'll have to find a way to split headphones so we can both be plugged in.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We'll find a time to record. But will you have a quiz for us? The people want to know. I actually have had messages about your quizzes. Just saying.
From who?
From people that listen to the show. I'm not going to name them. I don't know if they want people to know they listen to the show.
I think you need to interview that Corey guy that went to like 15 wrestling shows over Wrestle Kingdom period.
Hell yeah, man. Let's get in touch and let's do it. For sure.
I mean, like, I went to 9 shows in 7 days, and I thought that was intense. I don't know how many days he was over for, but fucking hell.
Here's the thing. My interview game is the thing that I like the most about doing this, but I don't know if I'm going to have an interview every single week with an Aussie grappler. I want to, and I'm going to work on it, but I just don't know feasibly if I can with union work and all my changing duties, as it were, because my partner's work schedule's changed, and just the amount of things that have changed in my life are phenomenal. And also just for my own mental health, like I'm feeling a lot better not just doing one thing, just spreading myself a little more and putting my fingers in all the pies that I love. Mm-hmm. I've felt a lot better, so I want to keep doing that. So I just don't know if I'm going to get around to interviewing someone every week. We will still have Aussie Grappler interviews on the channel. It's kind of our bread and butter. It's our biggest thing. It's the thing we love doing. We will be talking to Aussie wrestlers. Just whether it's every single week,
you might just have an Australian wrestler on the show every single week.
Yeah, there we go. We'll just interview you every week. It'll be the worst show ever.
The latest out of TCW.
No, but we will talk to Aussie grapplers. Obviously, we don't have one this week, but we will be talking to Aussie grapplers. And as well, I'm going to open it up a bit and talk to other people. Like I know people who follow me and know my shit know that I'm a bit of a witch. And there's a wrestling themed tarot deck coming out that I'm super stoked on. Right, like so if you're familiar with the tarot, there's a card called the Lovers, right, which is one of the most famous cards. It's the card that people hope for in their love readings, which wrong. Anyway, the Lovers, right, and on the wrestling tarot, it's the Golden Lovers.
Oh,
right, like. It's fucking amazing. It's a really cool tarot deck. And so I'm hoping to talk to the creator of that and just more people that are involved in wrestling in general, not just, limiting it to the sphere. I'm being a lot more casual and opening it up and sort of breaking my own rules because I can do that.
You do say grappler adjacent, so it's still in the vicinity.
Yeah, in the vicinity. So we're going to do that, and we're going to talk to people still, but it may not be an every week thing. We're going to talk wrestling every week, and we're going to talk to wrestlers whenever we can because schedules. I've got a couple lined up already. We've got a very interesting Valentine's Day special. I'll say that much. I'll leave that teaser out there for people. But with that said, go out and vote in the Twitter polls. Where can people find you guys on the social medias?
Oh God, we have to do the taglines again. I don't know if I remember it all. You guys can find me at Mr. Mysterious 117 on all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Grapple, that's still going on as well. Hit us up, guys. Let us know about what do you think that we're back? Kinda. Happy 2020. And yeah.
That's something else I want to talk about quickly as well. You'll notice there were no ads in this episode.
No.
Because one of the things I was doing when working full time was, spending sort of full time hours on this editing and watching and reading and blah, 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 and all the stuff I was doing. I was contacting advertisers. I was, writing ad copy. I was doing all that stuff as well. And that's gone. No time for that. No advertisers. So if you do want to support us, do that at the Patreon. Also, as well, I was a debt collector, chasing people who say, yeah, I'm going to pay you to run ads on your show, and then don't fucking pay you. You know who you are. Fuck you. Stop being shit. Don't be shit at life. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, let's move forward. 2020 positivity. Woo! So we're just doing shit that makes us smile in 2020. So fuck all that ad nonsense. And if you want to support us, please do, because it helps us pay the bills around here, which, they're quite hefty when it comes around to it, especially when you got to pay $31 for an Impact pay-per-view.
Hey, it's only 16 and a half if you 15 and a half if you share.
You're not allowed to stop talking about. Where can people find you, Ben, to tell you that that's illegal and that none of us support it?
On Twitter at AsiaManiaPod, and check out my other podcast, the Bamcast. Our most recent episode was the Star Wars Holiday Special, and later this month we'll be reviewing Death Race 2000, starring David Carradine and a very young Sylvester Stallone.
Ooh. Star Wars, Baby Yoda, right?
Yeah, not even Baby Yoda could save the fucking holiday special.
Oh, no, no, I'm just saying, we've missed a lot of memes and stuff, though. Baby Yoda, dude. Baby Yoda. I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B Plus Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit the B Plus Wrestling everywhere else. Like, share, subscribe, 5-star review if you like what we do. Support us on Patreon if you want to throw some shekels our way. Shekels, that's a word, right?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that for a long time.
I've heard that. It's like coins or something, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, shillings and all that.
It's a word.
Yeah, it's very good to be back. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
See you guys.
Bye.